Rodriguez versus the United States. All information was found on oyas.org and in the United States Constitution. A Hispanic male, Dennis Rodriguez, was observed veering onto the shoulder of a highway by a Nevada police officer. Subsequently, he was pulled over during what seemed to be a routine traffic stop. The officer issued a mere written warning. Dennis did not even receive a ticket. Still, the officer felt the need to ask to circle the vehicle with his canine unit that was back in his police car. Rodriguez denied the police officer's request, but still, the officer proceeded to the search without Dennis's consent. The dog, after walking around the vehicle, alerted to the presence of drugs. The police officer then searched Dennis Rodriguez's vehicle and found a large bag of methamphetamine. The language of the Fourth Amendment is clear that we are protected against unreasonable search and seizures. So why did this routine traffic stop become an issue of the Supreme Court? All police officers are aware of our rights as American citizens. The rights of Dennis Rodriguez were clearly infringed upon, regardless of whether or not there were illegal substances found in the vehicle after the search. The search itself never should have happened. Dennis Rodriguez knew his rights. He also knew that his rights were infringed upon, so he took the legal steps to prove this. Rodriguez claimed that his Fourth Amendment protection from unreasonable seizures was violated and motioned for the evidence to be deemed inadmissible in court. His district court, however, ruled against him. Rodriguez then took his case to the United States Court of Appeals. The United States Court of Appeals held the ruling of the district court. They found that the traffic stop was not reasonably prolonged by the search and was just and constitutional. Rodriguez, however, was not satisfied with their findings. He decided to take his case to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court of the United States, realizing the ramifications of this specific case, took it on. They deemed the question, is the use of a canine unit after the conclusion of a traffic stop and without reasonable suspicion of criminal activity a violation of the Fourth Amendment prohibition on unreasonable search and seizures? The Supreme Court ruled in favor of Rodriguez, coming to the conclusion that the use of a canine is not connected to the mission of an ordinary traffic stop and is therefore unlawful. The court voted 6-3 in his favor. The majority opinion of the court was delivered by Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She stated that a traffic stop is concluded when the mission of the stop is concluded. In this case, the officer conducted the mission of the stop and then proceeded to prolong the stop with a search after the fact. The court also found that the only way a seizure unrelated to the stop is lawful only if it does not measurably extend the stop's duration. Had the officer seen the drugs during the stop, then the seizure would have been lawful. It is of my belief that had the officer not concluded the stop before using the canine, then it would have been lawful. All three justices that decided no wrote dissents. The dissenting opinion was delivered by Clarence Thomas. The dissenting side believes that a search is constitutional only if it is reasonably conducted. They believed that in this case, the search was reasonably conducted. They also believe that this case will create abstract lines between common police practices and that the decision is arbitrary because it has relied so heavily on the specific order that the officer conducted their inquiries.